I'm on your Wi-Fi. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I've gone to 3G or whatever it's called, 4G. Just in case it stuffs up. Anybody out there? Yay, we're on.
We are on Stevie and Tay up here, and
Tay's
Tay's way
way
down here.
Killing two birds.
Oh, it's a race. Who's jumping on quicker? Okay, Tay's winning.
Killing two birds in one stone. We're trying to do the lives at the same time. Because we have a busy office day after this, don't we, Sissy?
Yes, a big production meeting. I have literally written this massive long to-do list, and I just cannot wait to get stuck in, because this one has been missing for quite some time.
Oh,
and we have shit to do. So yeah, we are doing this.
Can you
together.
tell who's the more maternal one and who's the more business one? She's like, we had a conversation the other day, and she's like, talking about her coaching and blah blah blah, and she starts talking about how she's going to hopefully pick up more clients, like not very long after she gives birth. And I'm like, are you serious?
No, because I'm not letting that be my story. I want my story to be.
I know it doesn't have to be a story, but give yourself that time.
I know, and I'm fully aware of that, and obviously I'll go with the flow, but my story is that I can raise a baby, transition into motherhood, like, you know, relatively easy, touch wood, hopefully, as well as be able to manage a business and keep both of my like passions alive. Like, why can't I have both? Why can't I do both?
You can have both, but I just don't want you to be with the newborn while like you're thinking of being on your computer to answer.
Yeah, no, and I'm not, and I'm going to put my boundaries in place, and I've been smart about it. Like, I'm not going to overwhelm myself with too much. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm mapping it out now, so when the time comes, you know,
this isn't actually our life, by the way, we're just talking.
Oh yeah, they're Baxter Blues. Yeah. So funnily enough, Taylor and I have had our eyes on Baxter Blues for a while, and this is what I love about the universe and manifestation and putting in the hard work. What you put in, you'll get out. And Baxter Blue contacted us and wanted to gift us these lenses. How cool are they? We'll do a post on them about them later. They're also sponsoring our Wellness Out West event, and they're giving away freebies for our Lucky Door prize. So they are blue light blockers. For anyone who doesn't know what Baxter Blue glasses are, please head over to their page and check them out, but we will be posting about them.
Alright, so let's dive into
why are we on today, Tay?
Well, basically for the past week, obviously before it comes up to a Monday, I think about what do I want to talk about on my live on Mondays, what am I feeling called to really address, and what I feel like has been coming up on my mind lately has got a lot to do with nutrition. Because I always, as a health coach, and just not even before I was even, you know, a certified health coach, I'd always, like, we both always get asked, please help me, I don't know what to eat, what diet should I follow, you know,
I don't even know where to start. Like,
people
what
want
should
to know
I be cutting
literally
out?
what we eat, like breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, like late night snack, like
where we shop.
Yeah, they want to know the ins and outs of everything that we eat. And it just got me really thinking about, you know, my health coaching course, because the coaching course that I did, it was over a year, and it's the world's largest nutrition school, and we learn over 100 different dietary theories. And when I think about now, I mean, opposed to a couple, maybe even a year and a half ago before I did this course, I was not like closed-minded, but I very much I really resonated with the paleo diet.
You're kind of narrow-minded in your way of thinking.
Yeah, like I was very restrictive, and I thought, no, like, you know, I need to do the paleo diet because I love it. It resonates with me, blah, 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 blah. And then I did this coaching course over the year, and we learned all different dietary theories. So we learned about veganism, and we learned about macrobiotic diet, and we learned about paleo, and we learned about ketogenic diet, and the vegetarian diet, and just all these different ways of eating. And literally every single lecturer who spoke on every single different diet, which absolutely contradicted each other, had scientific, evidence to back it up and research, and this is why you should eat this way, and this is why it will work for your body, and blah, blah, blah. Every single lecturer made a good argument as to why eating this certain way would work for them. And so obviously, a vegan diet contradicts a paleo diet, and paleo diet, a macrobiotic contradicts a paleo diet, and it can be really confusing. But what they always hit home at the end of the day, and they always reminded us of, was the fact that you always need to take into consideration bio-individuality. Always remember that Stevie is going to be genetically made up different to me, even though we are identical twins. There's going to be some things that are different, and some things that her body will need that my body doesn't need, and vice versa.
And also the environment in which your genes and cells
also when we're thinking about what we're eating, thinking about our age, where do we live, our ancestors,
our lineage, our ancestral lineage,
our genetic predisposition, all these different things to take into consideration. And not one way of eating is going to work for every single human being on this planet. And so when I learned all of this information in my school, it really, really did open my mind, and really made me think twice about telling people what to eat and stuff, because obviously what's going to work for me probably won't work for half the people that follow me.
Yeah.
And another thing that really keeps coming up is the fact that, yes, we do eat a paleo-ish diet, which, we've been a little bit more flexible on lately, because Stevie will touch on a little bit later. We're kind of just doing what our soul feels called to do now, and
listening to
what our soul feels called to eat.
Yeah.
But I will address the fact that heaps of people always ask me, there's so many health and wellness people out there, and they're mostly vegans or they're vegetarians and this and that, but I still eat meat. And people say, well, how come, how they just want to understand how I'm a health coach and how I can sort of preach health and wellness, loose term of preaching health and wellness, but I still eat meat, and meat causes cancer and this and that, and we're killing the planet, and how we're being socially responsible, and oh no, is this little guy gonna wake up? So I'm going to address it on this live, because I just feel like it's the quickest way to address it, rather than typing back a massively long email or back to a DM, because it's just way too hard, clearly, with this little guy, my arms and on my boobs 24/7. We do still eat animal products. What I will say is, everybody should mostly be eating plants. That's 100% truth. We need to be eating mostly plants.
More plants.
Yes. Focusing on our gut health. And what was the other one that I said? Remember in our workshop? Drinking more water. That's it. Eat more plants, focus on your gut health.
Yeah, but good quality water.
Good quality water, yes. But for us, in terms of eating animal products, we still see a place for them in our diet, 100%. I still see a place for bone broths in my diet. I still eat eggs. There's different things from animals, and it's not, not necessarily always chicken thighs or friggin' a bloody steak. I don't even like steak. But I think that there's certain animal products out there for a reason in our diet that have been in our diet for literally thousands of years since we've evolved, that should stay in there for a reason. And that's personally what I believe. Stevie might even be different. Maybe next year she might go vegan. Who knows? It's always about what you feel best for your individual self at the end of the day.
At the time too.
At that time in your life, and what's resonating with you. So I'm not I don't ever see myself being a vegan or a vegetarian. I did try to become a vegetarian for a little while there. It did not work for me. There's another thing that I will say. I know way too many vegans and vegetarians who did not last or did not do very well on that diet for over a certain amount of years, who have now gone back to eating animal products because they need them in their diet, and that's what's resonated with them. Yeah. We follow certain people like Joel Salatin, I think his name is. He's a holistic farmer if you look him up. Joel Salatin, I'm pretty sure, or Satelin, that he's based in the States, and he is a holistic farmer, explains why we need certain animal products in our diet, and why it's actually, if you do it the right way, it's actually not destroying the earth, and it's all about circle of life. And when the animals die, the plants that grow, that the vegans and us eat plant-based diet, people eat actually need dead animals and dead carcasses to nourish their plants so that we can eat them. So it's a whole big circle of life. There's also Daniel Vitalis as well, who was a vegan for many, many, many years, and realized that it wasn't working for him, so he's gone back to rewilding himself and eating all different crazy types of animal products like bugs and just random stuff that you kind of cringe at.
But we also know plenty of vegans who are thriving as well,
exactly.
and who are pregnant, who have given birth to beautiful, healthy babies. No issues. So
we also know people, thriving on a paleo diet, but then we know people thriving on a macrobiotic diet. So, they eat grains, but paleos don't eat grains because they'll say it's bad for your gut and this and that. So, like I said, so much contradicting and conflicting information out there, and everybody will be able to show you the scientific research and the evidence and the articles to back up their claims and why we should be vegan or why we should definitely be paleo. But at the end of the day, it comes down to tuning into yourself, listening to your own individual body, taking into consideration your different health history, and running with that. So if you pick up a book that's a vegan book, or you pick up a book that's, vegetarian book or a paleo, whatever book, and that you start reading it and it really resonates with you, and you try that diet out for a few months and you
feeling well,
your health conditions start to disappear and you start feeling like you're really actually thriving for once, and your bowel movements are a lot better and you've got more energy, then obviously that's the way to go for you. That's what's working for you, and keep on that track until one day maybe it might not work for you anymore and you want to rejig that diet a little bit and start adding different things in there. Like, for instance, since being pregnant and breastfeeding the crap out of my 2 babies, I feel like I'm constantly eating sourdough bread because it's like the only thing that will fill me up right now and really satisfy my hunger, because I'm starving all the time. That's really not paleo. So
she had paleo bread this morning. I literally been making her toast before this live. She had 6 pieces of paleo toast. I'm like, how many more freaking pieces do you want me to make you?
But I had peanut butter on my paleo bread, and peanut butter is not paleo. So, it's just really comes down to, what does your soul feel called to eat today? Obviously, I'm not saying, my soul feels called to eat McDonald's. You should go and eat McDonald's. No, do not eat McDonald's. There are definitely things that we should not be eating, like McDonald's and, artificial sweeteners and friggin' processed foods.
Highly processed
that
foods.
That to me should be common sense by now. We should know that that's not very good for you. You shouldn't be eating that if you want to live a healthy lifestyle. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to what we should be eating, it gets very confusing and people don't know where to start. So I think
such an overwhelm, an overload of information out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I to be honest, I feel like I've come across more very staunchly pro-vegans who are very passionate about the way that they're eating, and it really to be honest, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there like that who are so restrictive in the way that they eat, and we should be only eating this way, and it actually can turn out to be quite unhealthy. It's actually quite an unhealthy mindset to think of, think about how we eat, and being so restrictive and not so, open-minded as to bio-individuality, and also, over the course of your life, the way that you eat when you're in your 20s is going to be completely different to the way that you eat when you're in your 50s. And you might, want to start incorporating animal products back into your lifestyle and...
or taking them out.
Yeah, so it's all about being open-minded and not being so, narrow-minded or, tunnel vision on one way of eating so much for the rest of your life. Because, like I said, one way of eating is not going to work for everybody, and one way of eating is not going to work for you your whole entire life. And that's really what I kind of took away from my nutrition school, was just being very open-minded as to, the journey that you're on, listening to your own body, what you need, just taking it one day at a time, or even 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
When I say that we still eat animal products, I will say that obviously we always try our very best to choose high quality, antibiotic, hormone-free animal products that have been
grass-fed, grass-raised.
Animal products that have been raised in a natural environment where there isn't any factory farming, and we're not supporting things like that. We're always being very mindful and conscious of that, where we get our animal products from.
Or consuming GMOs.
Yeah, because we don't believe, yes, we eat animal products, but we don't believe in factory farming. I hate what that's doing to our environment and also the animals too. But I still eat animal products. I still am going to go to a local butcher or, to a farmer's market and buy good quality bones for my bone broth. Like, that's not going to stop me from having my bone broth and giving it to my children. What else? Yeah, so, like, at the end of the day, I just want to say, like, when you ask us what you should be eating or, like, certain dietary advice, we actually really shouldn't be telling you what to eat, because you really have to listen to what your own individual body's telling you, or, try out different things, try out different diets and see what's working for you.
What I will say is go back to basics, keep it simple, as natural as possible. When we say eat whatever your soul says, like they said, don't go fucking eat Maccas.
That doesn't mean go eat Maccas.
Pretty much cut out the crap. Carbonated drinks, soft drinks, fizzy drinks, refined sugars, artificial flavors, sweeteners, anything artificial that is like carcinogenic or a neurotoxin. And processed foods. Remember, these chemicals that we're ingesting and that we are surrounded by daily, they are doing so much harm than anything else.
Yeah.
So just please, what we will say is keep it as simple as possible, as natural as possible. What's that saying? From farm to plate or whatever. From paddock to plate.
Yeah.
Think about it like that.
So just stick to, if you want to simplify it, just stick to real whole foods in as close to the natural state as possible. And lots of good quality water. Like, start there if that's all that you can manage at the time, and everything else is too overwhelming for you right now. Eat mostly plants. We eat a bit of animal products if that's your thing. Lots of water. Focus on good gut health. And also...
And how you feel.
Yeah, how you feel, which we'll go into now. Stevie wants to touch on as well, because it's not just about what you're eating on the plate. You actually can change the vibrational energy of your food on the plate if you actually, express gratitude before you start eating. And you actually, even if you go and eat like a thing of hot chips from, like, I've been eating those, like a little thing of hot chips from Grilled lately, because that's just what I freaking feel like eating. And, I know that's not the best for you, but that is like what my soul has been called to do at the moment. But I appreciate the fact that my body, my body is working beautifully for me. I don't eat, other crappy foods anymore. If I feel like I want to eat that, then I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to honor what my soul's feeling at the moment. I'm not going to be so restricted and be like, oh no, I can't eat that, and beat myself up about it, because that actually, beating yourself up over what you're eating does more damage than what the food will do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So, Tay is more into, like, obviously she studied the nutritional side. I'm more into the energetics of food and how you feel when you're eating food, and why I think for me now it's resonating more so that how we eat is more important than what we're actually eating.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is stemmed from Peter Kelly, who we just fucking love. So please go over and follow her. But she is talking about this more and more. She's vegan and she's thriving. She's got a beautiful baby who's chubby, breastfed bub. But she's now talking about the spiritual judgment, and like this, Caitlin commented about how she feels such a tug of war every time. She's been a long time vegan, and now she's including collagen powder into her diet, and every time she eats, she gets, feels such guilt around that.
Yeah.
And what
another thing we need to touch on is the labels of these diets.
Yeah, and what I want to say is, for me, I really struggled with my relationship with food for years. Like, every time I'd go and eat something, it would be this literally like this whole story, and like hour-long negative self-talk messages before and after would just play, and I'd be so restrictive.
She's been so bad like
that. Oh God, I was just like, oh, thank God I don't.
She would beat herself up if she had a slice of sourdough bread.
If I had a slice of bread, I'd be sitting there an hour later still beating myself up about it. If someone else ate something that I thought wasn't great for them, I would be so judgy about it.
Consciousness police,
big time when it came to food.
You shouldn't be eating that, and I'm so guilty of that. I used to be like that. Hey, are you literally like, when I first got on this journey, I judge myself. Everything in my parents' pantry.
I judge myself, I would judge others. And every time I went to eat, not once did I think about how this food was actually going to nourish my body. I was just in such a state of fear of what the food that I was eating would actually do to me if I wasn't sticking to my really strict, healthy diet, right? So now, going through that and, all your growth and evolution and the way that I now look at food, and like I said, it's been sparked from Peter Kelly, really, about the vibe in which we're eating and being grateful for our food, as opposed to what we're actually eating, if this makes any sense to anyone.
Well, it is a thing. It's called food energetics.
I tried to have this conversation with my husband yesterday, and he was just like, what? I don't understand what you're saying at all. But what I'm trying to express is the fact that, like, lately, every time I sit down for a meal, I'm all about conscious eating and mindful eating now. So I sit down for a meal and I literally put the plate in front of me and I just say thank you. I'm thankful for the food. I send gratitude for the food, and I say thank you, God, thank you, universe, for the food I'm about to receive that is going to nourish my body and my baby. And I sit there and I don't look at my phone. I don't read a book, or like I used to eat while distracted all the time. And I'm really mindful about eating, and then just being grateful and accepting of what this food's actually doing to me, as opposed to, like, literally I would sit there and be like, I wonder if this bean's sprayed with pesticides. Should I be eating this bread? Is this GMO? Has this got GMOs in it? Like, that is literally the dialogue that would run through my head every time I fucking sat down to have a meal. Like, how draining is that?
And I'd be like, what does it say on that label? What are the ingredients in that?
We are all for being food detectives and reading labels and being aware of what's actually in your food. But when it comes to, this is a thing, the balance of, is this actually a healthy habit or not? It very much comes down to mindset and how the energy in which you vibrate, the level of the frequency you're vibrating at when you're eating food. And like we say, everything is energy. We're energy, our food's energy. And so for me now, I'm just really tapping into what my body is telling me that it wants to eat, and going by that. And like Tay said, just listening to my soul, and day by day being grateful for food, and just tuning into that and being guilt-free about it, not having any spiritual judgment around what you're eating because your diet says to do this or not to do this. So I just wanted to talk about the food, the relationship we have with food, and the dialogue that we usually have running through our head when we're eating, because it's usually always negative, it's usually always fear-based, and that was definitely me for a long time. And so I really want to get back to our mindset and our beliefs around food. And I'm reading this book called The Biology of Beliefs by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's a biologist, and he's friggin' amazing. And it's just really sparking my mind as to changing my beliefs and being open and being curious and being really
judgment-free.
I was going to say judgmental-free.
On ourselves and on other people, because I feel like we're so judgy with what everybody eats all the time. Like, you know, paleo people judge the vegan people, and vegan people judge the paleo people, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it just goes on and on and on and on. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, we all want a better future for our children. We all want a healthy planet, and we can do that, but we don't all have to eat the same way. And we can do it by, you know, raising our vibration, making conscious choices, being mindful of where our animal products come from. If you choose to eat animal products, make better decisions, eat less meat during the week.
And like Peter Kelly says, if you're staunchly passionate about something, that's amazing, but don't fight a lack of compassion with a lack of compassion.
Yeah.
So just remember that. And for me now, everything is all about my vibe. My vibe is my highest priority. And am I vibing high when I'm eating? Am I in a place of love and gratitude when I'm nourishing and fueling my body? And so I was telling Tay this morning that yesterday or the day before, I've been craving a tuna salad for that long, like for weeks. And I had this tuna salad, and again, I sat down and I was like, I'm so grateful for this food. Thank you. This is going to nourish my body and my baby. And I know, being pregnant, probably shouldn't eat tuna from a can, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought,
I'm a fraud, Stevie.
I'm a fraud. But I fucking love this tuna salad that I used to eat a lot, years ago. And I sat down and I had this tuna salad, and I was just filled with joy, and it was just made me feel good. And this is a thing. Eat in a way that makes you feel good, guys, not in a way that makes you feel fearful and restrictive and like really judging of yourself and judging of others, because I feel like that is way more important than what you're actually like, the diet that you choose to incorporate into your lifestyle
so strictly. And that's another thing I want to touch on is the labels. I think everyone gets so caught up on labels, and forgets how to listen to their body because it's so like, no, I only eat this certain way. And it's like, well, hey, like, you know, how you ate 2 years ago might be completely different to how you ate, like how you're eating now. Like, don't do your body a disservice by ignoring it just because you follow a certain label and your label tells you can only eat plants or you should eat animal products. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get caught up on the labels
or the fear of judgment.
Keep an open mind and don't be so harsh on yourself. If you are a vegan and you start to eat animal products again, don't feel guilty. That's you honoring your body and listening to what your soul is calling you to eat.
Don't wrap your self-worth around the identity, your identity, especially your diet identity.
I like having conversations with ex-vegans or ex-vegetarians about why they started eating animal products, because I'm just curious to know, like, not because I'm judging, but I just want to know, like, why, like, were you so staunch like that and now you've decided to eat animal products again? And most of the time it's literally because they will say my body was telling me I needed to eat like a certain animal product, or I was just feeling so called to eat it, or you know, I felt like I was just lacking after years and years and years of eating this way. I still did not feel like I was thriving and this and that. And it's, at the end of the day, again, it comes down to listening to your body and what feels right for you, what was resonating with you at the time.
I was saying to my husband, think of all the people, right, that they eat whatever, like they're just joyous, joyful people, like, you know, that live a long life and they eat like a certain, like Italians or
it's
like
called the centenarians.
Asians, like centenarians. They just eat the way that they like want to eat in a way that feels good for themselves,
and they live up to 100 past 100.
And they're so joyful, and they've got no health issues, and yet by some people's standards, it's the wrong way of eating. But look at them, they're thriving. And it's because they're joyful about the way that, about their food and being mindful about what they're eating.
But you know what it mostly comes down to, because this is what we also studied in our nutrition school. These centenarians, right, if that's how you say it, centenarians, I'm pretty sure. There's a village in Greece, for example, who eat like dairy, and they smoke and they drink red wine and they eat cheese, yet they live to 100 and they're the happiest people on earth. Then you've got the people in Okinawa, the Japanese people, who eat rice and they eat like lots of seafood and you know, all lots of soy as well, and they live to 100 and up. And then you've got people in Italy who are eating breads and pastas and this and that, who live till they're 100 plus. But the one thing that they all mostly had in common was the fact that they were always surrounded by loved ones. They always had that community support, and they enjoyed their food when they were eating. They were having a good time, and it was always like a celebration. And
also they were self-sufficient and self-sustainable. So they were growing their own food, which means they were out in their gardens, moving their bodies, squatting down, picking up, like lifting heavy loads. So it's a whole lifestyle that you have to take into consideration.
And you got to think, those people, they're living to 100 plus, and they're not thinking, oh my gosh, like what's in this freaking salad, or where does this come from? Like they enjoy their food. And they just don't have so many hang-ups about how they're eating or labels. They just eat what they eat, and they, you know, some of them smoke, some of them drink a shitload of red wine. And they friggin' live a good, long life. So that's another thing we should, you know, start to be mindful of, the fact that the people that are living to 100 plus don't all follow the same diet. They don't all eat the same way. They definitely, you know, like a standard definition of healthy, like, you know, smoking is not healthy, but they smoke and they drink red wine, and yet they're having these amazing long lives. Because mostly they enjoy their food and they're surrounded by loved ones, and they've got big community support around their villages and where they're, you know,
food is
where they're from, and they do grow their own food, which is a major.
They celebrate food, and it's a part of their culture and their traditions, and it brings them joy. And this is the thing, we want to get back to how we feel, what brings us joy, how we can be in a state of gratitude continuously. And so I just want to say that, I just laugh at how my thought patterns and my mentality around food and think, fuck, it's changed. Because I just feel like it's so draining. But I say now, the stress, like, go and eat what you want to eat, okay? Don't stress about, but like, if you do decide to eat it, eat it and be grateful and love it and enjoy it, savor every bite, because I'm telling you, the stress of eating and the stress we place around eating and what we're doing to our bodies and the fear that what it's going to do to our bodies is so much more damaging than just eating it and feeling good about yourself and enjoying it and being, you know, being in the joy of receiving and just living your life for you and like honoring the moment of like honoring yourself and honoring yourself in that moment. And this is what you feel like in this moment. Okay. So let's remember that the stress is doing more damage than the food that we're actually consuming.
Yeah. And so be grateful. Just be grateful that we are here. We're living. We can eat. You know, we don't have, you know, crazy stresses in the world. We live, you know, we live beautiful lives with beautiful loved ones. So, I think hopefully our message came across well and we made sense. And just served as a good reminder to people about, you know, diets and labels, and don't get so caught up on them.
And stop judging yourself, stop judging others as well.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Because we were like so judgy. Hey, we were so fucking judgy.
No, we weren't.
We were judge Mana on every single thing. Like,
ourselves and our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's judging.
Okay.
We were so judgy, and I don't care what she says, but with my little sister especially, and Tay was worse. She was worse than me, but she was so... We'd sit around the table, completely ignore the fact that we're surrounded by our loved ones enjoying a meal together, and just sit and nitpick, that person, you're going to eat that? Really? You're going to, like, do you know what that...
That was me at the start. I was staunchly judgy on my loved ones.
You're just fucking pissing on the chips of the whole experience of life. Like, enjoy being with your family, as opposed to nitpicking what the fuck's on their plate.
From my experience, right, I'll say why I did that. I judged my family so harshly on what they were eating, because when I downloaded all of this information and I was learning all of this stuff about holistic health and wellness, and I knew what, you know, that Coke Zero was doing to their bodies, and I knew what, you know, that refined flour was going to do to their gut, I kept saying, like, I was trying to come from a place of love and tell them, you know, what I was doing, but I was really just coming across as a bossy bitch and saying, you know, like, stop eating that shit, because I didn't want them to get unwell, and I knew what it was going to do to their bodies, and I didn't want them to get sick.
Yes,
so that's why I was doing that. But then I just took it to a whole nother level, and this is threw everything out in the pantry and just like became bossy as fuck.
This is the thing, guys. We need to stop missing the point. So Tay would ruin a whole dinner table get-together family gathering because she was so nitpicking of what we're actually eating, as opposed to just sitting there, loving, embracing, not judging, and being grateful for sitting around a table with your loved ones enjoying food together. So we need to stop missing the point, okay?
Guilty.
Guilty as charged, guilty as charged.
But I can thankfully say that I've evolved past that point now, and I've gotten heaps better, haven't I?
Yeah, no, she actually has, thank God. And so have
I've dropped that story. I've rewritten that story, okay? That's not my story anymore.
Not her story anymore.
I've got a new food story.
Yeah, we've got a new food story, guys. So, yeah, stop with the spiritual judgment. Remember, how you eat is more important than what you're actually eating, and the vibration in which you feel while you're eating. Be grateful for your food. Bless your food. Be thankful. Remember stop missing the point, all right? And enjoy life's experiences.
Remember, bio-individuality.
Yes.
One man's, bloody hell, what's that saying?
One man's way of eating isn't going to work for everybody.
No, but it's something else. I can't forget the saying.
Alrighty, guys. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we are going to jump off. That's pretty much all we wanted to say. Oh, she said, haha, I just ate sourdough with butter and Vegemite and love Peter's book, The Bomb. Yeah, you go for it.
Yeah.
I fucking love Vegemite, and for ages I didn't eat it, and I thought, you know what? I love Vegemite. I'm going to eat a Vegemite. And so I fucking ate Vegemite again. And you know what? I love eating Vegemite, and I have no guilt or shame around it, okay? So you just do you, girlfriends and boyfriends out there. One man's pleasure is another man's poison. Is that
that's the same.
Thank you, vegan. Someone's on the ball with the quotes and the sayings.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And just remember, bio-individuality, listen to your own body. What's working for someone else might not be working for you. And that's the thing, when you take advice off people, which is why I'm really hesitant on giving certain dietary advice now, like, take it with a grain of salt, and remember that might be that way of that they're eating, and
that might work for them. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah, exactly. You might buy that ebook and then start eating like that and think, I'm not really liking this, or I'm not really enjoying it. I just remember that I really do love Vegemite and sourdough toast, and I want to keep eating that. So, you know.
And so just tune into you, into your body, what feels good for you, what your body, let your body be the guide of what you choose to eat day to day, and be grateful every time you sit down for a meal, okay? We live in such a privileged world. If you're watching this, you are privileged. We are all privileged if we live in Australia.
Yeah.
So just remember that, be grateful.
And one thing I will take from Peter Kelly's book is the fact that she encourages and reminds us to all lighten up. Stop taking it so seriously.
Stop taking yourself so seriously.
Stop taking your diet so seriously.
Stop taking your diet so seriously. A freaking man.
Yes, nourish your body. 100%. We're all about eating amazing foods that are good for gut health and this and that. But at the end of the day, I definitely need to learn a lesson of stop taking it so seriously, because I was taking it really seriously at one point a few years ago. To the point where it was like a buzzkill for everybody at the dinner table.
Her vibe was lower than the food's vibe.
But did you know that artificial sweetener is going to do this to your body, and and it's like, oh, what a buzzkill. Like, stop doing that, Taylor. And I've stopped doing that for a couple of years now, thank God.
Thank God. So now we sit around a table and we enjoy our food, we enjoy the company, we enjoy
each other,
the conversation and each other, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Yes, love the consciousness police, been there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Because at the end of the day, when we're doing it to our loved ones, we're literally doing it out of love and protection and want them to be healthy and don't want them to get sick.
Yeah, but it's the way in which you're doing it.
Yeah, and also people have their, it's all in the timing. Everyone's not going to evolve at the same pace. Yeah. So just respect that, peeps.
Yeah. So less judging around what you're eating, more loving, and respect that everyone is on their own path at their own pace with whatever diet is working for them. No judgment here. Peace out.
He's got a rash on his face from my milk.
Okay. So how long or what do you do now for loved ones? Are we going to answer questions or are we going to jump off?
Oh, okay. Well, we'll answer questions while we're here before he starts to cry because he wants to be.
So how long or what do you do now for loved ones instead of being that bossy boots? We just love and accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
Especially
what we do? What works the most, what I've realised, instead of preaching, just lead by example.
Lead by example. Don't stay in your own lane. Stay focused on you. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Don't judge them.
Yeah.
They're living their life for them. You're living your life for you.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, obviously no one likes being judged. But when you do that and you're not preaching so much, people actually their ears prick up and they actually start to take notice of what you're doing.
Yes.
Because they realise how good you look and how happy you are, and you've
and
got
how
this
much
beautiful vibration about your aura that's just so contagious.
That is like a magnet. Okay.
Yeah.
So
lead by example.
Lessons learned. Lead by example. Walk your talk.
Anyone else?
Do your thing. You do you. All right. We're going to jump off
Scroll
now.
up. I think there was more questions.
No, there's not.
Yeah, see? It's because you care so much. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Yes, tuna. Man, that tuna salad was the fucking bomb. I even took a photo of it and I was just like...
Just real food. Yeah, exactly. Just eat real food.
Yeah, just eat real food. That's it. Okay? All right, let's jump off now. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us.
Would you mind?
No more questions.
Just bought Pete Evans. Oh, wait. Go.
Yeah, she just bought Pete Evans' book.
Slow cooking. Yeah. Love Pete Evans.
Yeah. Disease runs in the family because diet runs in the family. 100%.
So the course is called, it's the Integrative Nutrition Health Coaching course. If you go to my page on Tay's Way, in the highlights, you can click Health Coaching and you can try a sample class. Go there and try it out, guys. It's friggin' amazing. I hope that one day Stevie gets to do it because it's literally changed my life and my mindset around so much. Not just food, but spirituality, relationships, finances, everything. It literally blew my mind how amazing it was.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Actually, Hendy Booby is doing a poo.
Bye.
All right. A love from Sa.